Hey everyone, Crotalus here. I plan to make a series of videos reviewing the dinosaurs of Jurassic World Alive, so this will be the first in that series, and I just want to do some in-depth analysis of how they fare in battle, and also talk a little bit about the dinosaurs in real life and in the movie. So the first dinosaur we're looking for isn't going to be found by day. But by night, Velociraptor is one of the most common spawns, really globally it seems. We don't have all the information yet, but it definitely is among the top 5, if not top 2 most common dinosaurs in the game at night. So you're going to see a lot of Velociraptors, and you're going to get them early game. So it's going to be a dinosaur that you're going to want to know how good are they in battle. But before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about their design and how it relates to the movie and to the real life thing. So Velociraptor, as you can see, is designed clearly pretty closely off the movie version of Velociraptors, and I'd say it does a pretty good job of approximating the movie raptors. So by now, most dinosaur fans probably know that Velociraptor didn't look anything like that. It had feathers, and, well, this is probably a pretty good depiction of what it looked like. It really looked more like,
Well, maybe dinosaurs have more in common with present-day birds than they do with reptiles.
Thanks, Dr. Grant. And they were much smaller, as you can see from this picture. They weren't the menacing, towering monsters that chased people through buildings that you saw in the movie. Much more the size of, well, a turkey.
And he slashes at you with this 6-inch retractable claw, like a razor, on the middle toe.
Okay, Dr. Grant, I think I'm going to have to stop you there. That toe claw would have belonged to one of the much larger Velociraptor relatives, like Deinonychus, which is the one on the far right, and that's actually what the Velociraptors in Michael Crichton's novel were based off of, or more accurately, the much larger Utah raptor in the middle there. Now, actually, Velociraptors were not found anywhere near Montana, where Alan Grant was somehow digging a giant one up, but in fact were found in what is now the Gobi Desert, or at least their fossils have been found in what is now the Gobi Desert in Mongolia. And this particular fossil is really neat. It shows a Velociraptor locked in combat when it died with a Protoceratops, and it's nicknamed the Fighting Dinosaurs. But enough about the real thing. Let's start talking about Velociraptors in Jurassic World Alive and how they play in battle. Velociraptor is your classic glass cannon. It's a very speedy, fairly hard-hitting dinosaur that is pretty easily taken out if it's able to be cleanly hit with a strong attack. So as you can see here, Velociraptor comes out against a dinosaur much higher level than it, uses its skill Pounce, which deals 2 times damage and cuts the opponent's attack in half to just decimate this Rajasaurus, nearly taking it out in one hit. And then because of that 50% reduction in attack, it takes very little even from a counterattack plus attack from Rajasaurus, and is then able to use Strike. It's just 1 times basic skill to take it out the next turn. So that, in a nutshell, is how this dinosaur operates. It's simple, but it's very, very effective. But now, I'm fighting a second dinosaur, and Pounce is up again. Pounce has just a 1-turn cooldown, so you can use it every other turn. And I hit that Suchotator with it, but as you can see, Suchotator has immune, which means that 50% reduction in damage didn't happen, and Velociraptor was taken out. Another way to take Velociraptor out in battle if you're fighting one is to use a dinosaur like Stegoceratops, which has the ability to slow it. So there, Velociraptor pounces on my Stegoceratops and nearly kills it, but I'm able to return and decrease its speed. And now Stegoceratops, even though it didn't deal much damage the first turn, is able to finish the fairly flimsy Velociraptor off with another hit. So taking a closer look at Velociraptor's stats, it's really got exactly what it needs to be effective. It has the lowest health in the game, but that's more or less what you'd expect from a glass cannon. Among the higher damage dealers in the game, and it has the highest speed in the game. No armor, and fairly low crit chance, just kind of the standard 5%, but that's okay, because as you saw earlier, it operates with deadly effectiveness. Now keep in mind these stats are calibrated for dinosaurs at level 26. That's what you see in the arena rewards section, although that does not seem to be the maximum level your dinosaurs can currently be. So let's think about where Velociraptor stands in the meta in terms of how competitive is it against other dinosaurs. Well, I can tell you from running damage calculations, it takes out roughly half of the dinosaurs in the game pretty easily. And there's a number of other dinosaurs it checks pretty well, so depending on the moves played, you may win, they may win. So that's a very strong dinosaur for a common, easily accessible dinosaur. That's pretty good. And as you can see here, Velociraptor is pretty easily taking out dinosaur after dinosaur, and these are fairly high-level dinosaurs. Keep in mind, it fares really well against a lot of dinosaurs at full health on even playing ground, but when Velociraptor is coming in against weakened dinosaurs, it's very, very good at sweeping teams that have already taken damage. And this used to really be its only use because it didn't have that 50% reduction in attack for Pounce, and its stats weren't quite as high. So with the buffs from the most recent update, we see Velociraptor now being a really, really dominant force in the game, and probably the only common dinosaur you could really say that about. We don't have tier lists finalized following all the updates and buffs and nerfs and new dinosaurs added with the recent update, but Velociraptor clearly is going to stay up in the higher tiers, maybe second highest in Alpha tier. It's definitely a dinosaur to be reckoned with, and a dinosaur you will regret getting into a bad matchup against.
Clever girl.